Introduction. The first heart sound is produced by vibrations generated by closure of the mitral and tricuspid valves. Mitral valve produces M1 sound and tricuspid valve produces T1 sound. M1 is best heard over apex of the heart. T1 is best heard over fourth intercostal space at the left sternal border. S1 is the high-pitched sound, which is best heard with diaphragm of the stethoscope. Factors affecting intensity of S1 sound. First is pliability of the valve cusps. With an increase in degree of calcification and fibrosis, pliability is lost, which lead to diminished valvular mobility and diminished S1 sound. Second factor is ventricular contractility. As ventricular contractility increases, there is increase in ventricular pressure, and this increased pressure causes forceful AV valve closure, which produces loud S1. Third is PR interval. The PR interval governs the time that atria have to empty their contents into the ventricle. With a short PR interval, the atria have less time to empty their content into the ventricles, which lead to more forceful atrial contraction and maximal separation of AV valves, which lead to production of louder S1 sound. Upon valvular closure. The fourth is position of the valve at the end of ventricular diastole. The valvular position at the end of ventricular diastole also determines the intensity of S1. The further apart the leaflets are at the beginning of systole, the more rapid is their closure and the louder is S1. Fifth is AV valve regurgitation. With AV valvular regurgitation, the leaflets are not able to oppose properly, which lead to a muffled S1 sound. Sixth is amount of tissue between the heart and the stethoscope. The tissue can be liquid in case of pericardial effusion and pleural effusion, can be gaseous in the form of emphysema, and can be fat in case of obesity. The increased amount of tissue lead to softer S1 sound. Conditions associated with loud S1. First is increased transvalvular gradient. Example in mitral stenosis, tricuspid stenosis, and atrial myxoma. Second is increased ventricular contraction force, which can be seen in tachycardia, anemia, fever, thyrotoxicosis, exercise, and inotropic support. Third is short PR interval, which can be seen in tachycardia, WPW syndrome. Fourth is thin individual. S1 with variable intensity. This can be seen in Mobis type 1 heart block, digitally toxicity, atrial fibrillation, ventricular tachycardia with AV dissociation. Conditions associated with diminished intensity of S1. First is inappropriate apposition of AV valves. Example: mitral regurgitation, tricuspid regurgitation, dilated cardiomyopathy. Second is prolonged PR interval. For example, bradycardia, heart block, digital toxicity. Third is decreased ventricular contractility. Example: cardiomyopathy, myocarditis, myocardial infarction, and myxedema. Fourth is calcification of AV valve. Example: calcific mitral stenosis, post irradiation. And last is increased distance from the heart, which can be seen in obesity, emphysema, pleural effusion, pericardial effusion. Split of S1. Normally, the mitral valve closes earlier than tricuspid valve. Thus, M1 is audible before T1. But this difference is usually not detectable. Splitting of S1 is more prominent when difference between mitral valve and tricuspid valve closure is increased. Conditions associated with splitting of S1: premature ventricular contractions of left ventricular origin, right bundle branch block, left ventricular pacing, AHD, severe tricuspid stenosis. Reverse splitting of S1. This occurs when mitral valve closes after tricuspid valves. This can be seen in left bundle branch block, RV pacing, severe mitral stenosis, left atrial myxoma. Thank you for watching the video.